Starting off with mitosis is a type of cell division in which one cell, its mother cell, divides to produce two new cells, daughter cells, that are genetically identical to the cell. Most of the cell division happening in the body right now is mitosis, and to replace it, we'll go to the new one. The job. There's 5 stages of mitosis. The first one is prophase. In the early stage of prophase, the cell starts to break down structures and build them up, setting up for starting division of the chromosome. The chromosome starts to condense, and the mitosis spindle form which moves the chromosomes during mitosis. Nucleus start preparing to break down. In late prophase phase, the chromosomes finish condensing, and the nucleus breaks down, releasing more chromosomes, and the spindle captures those chromosomes and organizes them. In the second phase, which is metaphase, the spindle captures the chromosomes, then lines them up in the line in the middle. The two kin pictures of each chromosome should be attached to microtubules from other spindle poles. In the anaphase, which is the third phase, the sister chromatids separate from each other and are pulled towards opposite ends of itself. The protein glue substance is broken which holds the sister chromatids, allowing them to separate, pushing them against the cell, extending it. And the microtubules, not attached to the chromosomes, elongate and push apart, separating the poles and making the cell even longer. In telophase, which is the fifth stage of mitosis, the cell is nearly done dividing and starts to establish its normal structure as cytokinesis, division of the cytoplasm to form two new cells, and overlaps to the final stage of mitosis. It may start in either the anaphase or telophase, depending on which cell the cell, and finishes shortly after telophase takes place. After telophase, parentheses, takes place. In telophase, the spindle is broken down into building blocks, and then two new nuclei form, one for each set of chromosomes. Nuclear membranes and nuclei appear. The chromosomes begin to deconsent and return to the stringy-ish form.
Binary fission is a type of asexual reproduction by separation of a body into two new bodies. This process is the primary method of asexual reproduction for prokaryotic organisms. During this process, an organism duplicates its genetic material and then divides into two separate parts, which is cytokinesis, with each new organism receiving one copy of DNA. There are 4 steps in binary fission: straightening, replication of DNA, cell elongation, and cell splitting. In the straightening DNA, the DNA molecule that holds the genetic code for the bacteria cell is a circular strand that is usually tightly coiled and must uncoil and straighten so it can be copied. The next step is the replication of DNA. In this step, the enzyme DNA polymerase duplicates the DNA strand while the cell is growing more. Then the two copies attach themselves to the cell membrane. In cell elongation, the cell elongates with a septum forming at the middle, and the two chromosomes are also separated. The final step is the cell splitting. A new cell wall is formed and the cell splits at the center, dividing the parent cell into two new daughter cells. Each of the daughter cells contains a complete set of coiled DNAs. They are now ready to grow and eventually split themselves.
Compared to mitosis, binary fission occurs very rapidly. Mitosis takes a long time to happen. Binary fission can take up to 20 minutes. While mitosis can take up to a day, binary fission mainly occurs in prokaryotes, while mitosis occurs in eukaryotes. Some things that they both have is that they both produce identical daughter cells, they proceed by cell growth, and they are both forms of asexual reproduction.
Some facts about binary fission and mitosis. Mitosis is part of the cycle of the cell division. The chromosomes of a cell are copied to make two identical sets of chromosomes, and the cell nucleus divides into two identical nuclei. Before mitosis, the cell creates an identical set of its own genetic information. This is also known as DNA replication. Binary fission, though, is a kind of asexual reproduction. It is the most common form of reproduction in prokaryotes and occurs in some single-celled eukaryotes. After replicating its genetic material, the cell divides into two nearly equal-sized daughter cells, and as well, daughter cells are always the same. The genetic material is also equally split.